that she feels like she has fallen in love with me. And I know that I want to express it to her. Mm-hmm. And you're the first person that actually knows that I want to do that.
That sounds like what I would imagine the reaction, the guy who he hit that half-court shot at the Knicks game.
Okay.
He's like, so what do I win? And they're like, $1,000 scratch-off tickets. And he goes, huh.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's exactly like that. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to my buddy, Real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, the producer of the podcast, is over there behind the glass.
Hey, everybody.
Do you have any PSAs to get to?
Dylan, I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
Attention, baby birds. Public announcement. Last week, I dispatched thousands of birds from the nest to help reach our goal of 1,000 iTunes reviews.
Great.
At the time, I had no belief that this goal could ever be achieved. But I was wrong. The birds flew out of the nest and proved me wrong. We are now 173 reviews away from 1,000 reviews. You've made me a very happy man. And when I'm a happy man, I double down.
You play the Imperial March.
I promised the listeners last week that 5 baby birds would be tossed out of the nest until we reached our goal of 1,000.
At random.
But now I will instead throw out 10 sacrificial baby birds.
Okay. Because you're happy.
Correct. As always, this is completely random. If your name is called, you are no longer welcome in the Facebook group.
What?
Here we go. Betsy Garrison, Betty Williams, Blake Wellesley, Bonnie Gary, Bowd Beal, Brad Lamont, Brandy McLean, Bree Jabrant, Bree Fair, and Brenna McFarlane. You're all thrown out of the group. You're no longer welcome here, and you can no longer interact in the group.
You can't say that word, welcome.
I apologize. And before this goes on too long, if it hasn't already, forgive me. I would like to give honorable mentions.
Did you write that part?
No.
Okay.
To Haley Whittle. You are now going to be Minister of Information, and I am also giving you the title of Vice Chair of Communications.
Okay.
Elena Leanna.
Objection.
Hold on. She works for us. She works for the company.
And also, for new listeners, once again, we're so fucking sorry.
Hold on. I don't want to step on this. Elena Leanna, you are now Captain of Espionage to roast any birds that are talking about anything or squawking about anything other than us. If any of you birds out there think that you would like to overthrow Haley and Elena from their titles, please send me your resume with a picture of you in a bikini, and I will review your application.
All right, turn the music off right now. Turn the music off right now. I mean, I don't know how many times we have to tell you that. I mean, people just want to get into the show. I mean, you're playing music from Star Wars. You're soliciting pictures of our female fans in two pieces. It's inappropriate and it takes too long. Nick, thoughts and nods on that?
Man, it started strong, fell off.
Yeah, big time.
I'm going to say, I just have a really strong objection to further emboldening Haley Whittle.
Yeah.
Her level of enthusiasm is just right to just pass just right for me.
All right. So just because we have tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of listeners, we should stop talking about a single one and start talking about the fucking show that we recap. Guys, we've got to get to a fan favorite segment. General thoughts.
42 knots on that whole thing.
Okay. Our general. No, it is not. No, it is not.
54 knots.
It is a little low.
54 knots.
I'm going to say 65
You started
knots.
so strong. I was into it.
All right.
10 alphabetical order again?
Yeah, it's a bit. It's good. It's good. 55 nuts. So, general thoughts on tonight's hometown episodes. Pat, why don't you go first this time, actually?
Oh, I'm going to get to go?
Absolutely.
Okay, here's my thoughts and my knots. This season is flying by. I cannot believe we got like 2 or 3 episodes of this thing and then it's over. Mm-hmm. It feels like it just got started.
Right.
And what it's reminiscent of is that wonderful Saturday where you sit down with your lovely partner, your loved one, you click on Netflix or, I don't know, HBO, and you just binge watch a show like You or Making a Murderer or the first season of Walking Dead when they had writers. And before you know it, you've downed 4 bottles of wine. It's starting to get dark. You order a pizza, you mow it down, and then you hope your partner is passed out so you can be left alone in your own thoughts.
Oh, thank God he ended it like that.
That's what this show is doing to me right now. I love it. I don't want it to end. Can I 89 knots.
Loose tether between those 2 experiences. Hanging on by a thread.
I forgot he was comparing that to The Bachelor. I forgot what we were talking about.
Nick, general thoughts.
I just thought it was really interesting that we finally were revealed to locate all 3 locations of Snooze Fest 2020.
Yeah.
They happen to be Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Yep.
And Auburn, Alabama.
There we go.
And it was really interesting. The headliners were Madison's family, Kelsey's family, and Hannah Ann's family.
And was Virginia Beach not included in Snooze Fest?
That was not a Snooze Fest.
You're right. That was not a Snooze Fest.
That was enraging. Far from a Snooze Fest.
And you're nuts.
It started off with Snooze Fest. It picked it up in Virginia Beach. I'm going to give it 71 knots.
Okay, so what I've done this evening...
No. 63 knots. I was so bored.
What I've done this evening is... It's almost like the rating system is arbitrary. What I've done this episode is I've pulled a Nick where I've completely forgotten to write down general thoughts on the episode. So let me try and pull a couple out. 17 knots.
17.
All right, let's get into it.
No thoughts?
We kick things off
No thoughts.
in Lima. Yes.
One baby bird took objection to the fact and tried to include it in this week's errors and omissions.
Yeah, I saw that.
That we use the knots rating system in the Bachelor podcast.
Yeah.
And it's funny. But B, Ben Roth pointed out that pilots also use knots.
Boom.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so next,
it's just not nautical knots.
Next season, The Bachelorette's not a pilot, and we use it. We'll figure out a different reason why it's applicable because A, it's funny, and B, something else.
Or I think A could stand on its own legs. It's funny.
Sure.
To me.
Okay, so we kick things off in Lima, Peru.
Woo!
Kinda, but not really. He's packing his suitcase.
Absolutely. We get a little selfie video.
What'd you guys think of my pan flute?
That was a what?
It was a pan flute.
That was an Aboriginal yell. That was not a pan flute, okay? That was a yell from someone who lives in the forest.
Let's go back to what you were saying. What were you saying?
So we get a little selfie video. I'm going to say Peter Scar is once again horrifying. I think it significantly diminishes his aesthetic. And I just don't think that they're trying to cover it up enough. Like, put a little makeup on it. I mean, it's really, really... It's in the early stages of a scar forming where it's very bulbous and pink. It hasn't really grown confident in itself yet. And I find it to be really revolting.
It's like
Do you guys agree?
It's like me after I hit my growth spurt sophomore year. It's just lanky and awkward.
Yeah. Bad bones.
Still had that rapier wit, though.
Pat?
I don't like these selfie videos. Colton started it. I think they got to put that to bed.
Yeah.
How can we add 3 minutes of this 84 minutes we have to fill?
Sure.
We'll get 90 seconds for free from Peter's phone.
So let's move on past the first 90 seconds to the first one-on-one with Hannah Ann. We are in what city?
Knoxville,
baby.
I thought she was from Alabama. Weren't they calling her? She was also Alabama.
That's what
Hannah?
I thought too. That's
In
what
the
I
beginning?
thought too. But first,
I feel like Mickey moved the family because he did not want people getting Alabama
I'll
Hannah
get
confused.
to families being.
Oh yeah.
In homes that don't match the
We'll
families.
get there later. But first, we've got our first leg wraparound.
Okay, first off, Dylan, you don't need to take this because I will take this and run with it.
Okay.
The audience, I'm known for this. So
He either skips it or he wants to do it himself.
Oh,
he
fuck
will
you.
not allow Pat to do his thing. Pat, tell me about it.
all right, this is very important. This is crucial.
Yeah.
All right, because this is going to really, if you really watch this, this is what will be the decider for Peter at the end of this journey. Let me start with what he was greeted with. It was a short hop and it was a full leg wraparound.
Okay.
Can I add something I noticed about this with this one?
Yeah.
As you said, short hop, stationary hop.
Correct.
There was no forward movement.
Right.
Much of it may have been because they had this weird shot. It was in the rain, so they had only a couple seconds to get it.
Okay.
But nothing like that double jump downhill that
Right.
Kelsey gave flying
Sure,
at Peter,
sure.
really testing his stability, which was
Yeah.
surprisingly good.
And again, I have nightmares about that kind of thing. But no, Hannah Ann's heart was not propelled into his chest. There was no momentum of love. And I thought that the whole beginning just felt very icky. Their entire relationship feels very fake to me. The hello in the beginning, the leg wrap around. I don't see this.
I felt like the rain was very telling.
All right, so moving on. Her father is a log man. They call him Ranger Rick, which is confusing because he's not a ranger. He's a log man. He wants his daughter to... Was that a fart?
No, I slid the Bud Light seltzer across the table.
Check it out in your local grocer.
This nice redwood table.
Okay, so her father wants Hannah Ann to find a tough guy. If you guys had daughters, what qualities would you want her partner to lead with?
Intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Employment,
No, well, yeah.
those things. You're going with tough?
He's a eunuch.
Okay, so
No, that's just kidding. I need to carry on my lineage. That's not true.
Yeah.
I don't want him. I want him to have a penis.
okay, so they step up to they go to some random wood place. I don't know. Do you have a Yelp review?
I didn't see where they went.
Yes.
I looked up the ones in LA actually just recently by coincidence. Only stuff here in the Valley. I thought there would be one in Hollywood. Not yet. I feel like it's an untapped market. You
Axe
throwing bar in Hollywood for
Yeah.
sure. There's probably some weird stuff with
Sounds like a liability.
yeah, but some of those places are dangerous. I mean, they will like. I've seen viral videos of the axe popping back at people and they catch them.
Yeah, it's the kind of insurance where it's like, yeah, we'll cover you, but your premium is $25,000 a month. I was just kind of blown away that there was such a sizable crowd there. There were so many people watching them do this. And also, I just found a lot of enjoyment in the determination and focus that he possesses before he throws that first axe and second axe and third axe. He's just so fucking bad at it.
Nick, when you said, it seems like a space for this type of fun at a bar in our town. I've been to enough bars where they allow darts.
Oh, yeah.
That's you don't want sharp objects with drunk people around. It's very dangerous.
You got a fucking dart in your neck.
What? You're crazy, man.
That scene is so funny. It's one of the funniest scenes in a comedy like the last 30 years. It's unbelievable.
When he just at the beginning, when you first meet the Sean William Scott mulleted character, yeah, he jerks.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, so if people didn't think we were broy enough, let's get to them sitting down. Peter pulls out.
Todd Phillips is just enemy number one of the liberal or the.
Oh, shut up. I love the Joker. One-on-one and old school. What are we talking about?
Just that
And
he's
the
referred
first
to as like broy is ignorant. Old school is incredible.
Oh, it's
100%.
fantastic. Okay, so Peter pulls out a piece of paper because he's an IP thief. Okay, this is her this is her move, And this is why I think this whole thing is fake. Hannah Ann's reaction to this is nauseating. Pat?
So you inspired me to write you a letter.
Oh my gosh.
Things I love about you.
Oh my gosh.
So this is for you.
This is the sweetest thing. Oh my word. My heart's melting right now. I'm gonna read this like every morning and every night.
That's what I was hoping for. So
You're gagging. Gag reflex.
Yeah.
You want to throw up.
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
I mean,
Oh my God, Dylan, why do you want to throw up? What would make you want to throw up?
I'm going to read this every morning, every night. My heart's melting right now.
She doesn't say it with any emotion is what I kind of picked up on that.
Absolutely not. It's such bullshit.
First off, I believe Madison is the one he's really got his heart with.
Of course.
To put it, I guess, in a nice way.
Sure.
Peter, don't say this is why I love you. These are the things I love about you. This is bad form. You're going to break this girl's heart.
You know, we've had controversy in seasons past about split love shared between two contestants. It's fucking caution to the wind now. I mean, he just plainly says I'm in love with three people at the end of the episode, and he's essentially told all of them.
Not Kelsey.
We've seen the producers want you to say, I love you.
Right.
I'm in love with you. I'm falling in love with you, to as many as possible. And every year, the Bachelor gets progressively more malleable, and they just continue to do it. Peter, most of the time, I've thought he was just a pussy.
Right.
Illest on the planet.
Right.
Mr. Gambit, working on verse 2. But Peter, up until this point, I just thought he was a pussy. But tonight, I found him disgusting. Like, he straight up, I mean, not to get ahead of myself, the one father said, don't do this.
Right.
And then he did that.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how that's going to turn out.
No, but he really felt confident in it. That's why he said it.
Yeah, but also I just wanted to say I just did some digging. They gave us some bullet points of the ones he listed.
Oh,
but I would
in the letter.
Yes, I got about 75% of them.
Oh, wow.
And not interesting, not good, but I do feel it's my duty.
To read every single one of them?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Okay.
Things I love about you. How intentional you are. How you give me butterflies every time I see you. How artistic you are. The giggle you have when you think something's really funny. That new name, that you have a new name for every dress you've worn. Your eyes and how they are the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Your willingness to try anything with me. How you wrap your legs around me.
Oh,
really?
Ooh,
Look at that.
interesting. There's a nugget.
Look at that.
That you can catch a football.
Okay.
How you insisted on being the first girl I talked to most of the time. How you have the same opinion as me on what true love is. How good you are at CPR. Your positive attitude. That you're my lucky charm. That you have to be honest with, or that you've been honest with me with every step of the journey, and that I can see an amazing future with the clumsy two together forever. And I will say, part of the reason I struggled reading that so bad is because I wrote this in third person, but I read it in first person.
Got it. Yeah.
I was switching pronouns left and right, and I think all things considered, I did a pretty bang-up job.
Oh, I disagree.
You were so mean.
Don't take any shit from Dylan.
I think, yes, you were about to say?
Oh, I was saying you're being mean to Nick.
I disagree. I will say before we move to the family, he loves him a piece of paper and some almost sloppy handwriting. He's pulled this out a couple times now. The script, now this note. He's batting 1,000 with that. All right, night date.
Hold on. Gentlemen, I feel it's important that we address the elephant in the room before we get to the night date. There was a commercial break after this first segment, I guess, in the show. Hopefully you guys didn't see it, but apparently there's a show called The Bachelor.
Yeah. Pat, I'm so happy you brought this up because I wanted to bring it up, but evidently we're a couple weeks behind. This news is already broke.
Oh.
There is a new Bachelor that is kind of revolves around singer-songwriting, which is, I mean, it's fucking insane.
All right, that's all I'm going to say about that right now.
All right, so
No, we're not going to be covering that. We're not going to be covering that.
Really?
Oh, you want to?
No.
You've said it before. Like, I'm not going to be the one that doesn't do it. If you want to do it, I'll do it.
Just because we're
I don't
40
wanna do
minutes into the show, let's move on
Fair
to
enough.
the night date.
Night date.
Fucking nice house. Looks like logs pay, or he's a fucking criminal. Sister. Looks like she's ready for her moment.
Cute. I think is what Dylan's trying to get at.
No,
High school.
She's,
Still in high
she's
school.
very.
Oh, is she?
She's
I take
good in
that
front
back,
of
Dad.
camera.
Take
She's,
that back.
She's good in front of camera. I think she feels like this is, never waste a moment like this. You've got a lot of lenses on you.
She batted 1,000 in the
Yeah.
first 100% sit
Yeah.
down. She goes, you should have known what trees they had out there. Boom. Place erupted.
Yeah, she did really good. Very large mouth. And I'm not
that right?
I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to state the fact that her mouth is massive. It's a massive mouth.
We went about 7 seconds into hanging out with some filthy, yucky normies before making fun of their aesthetic. And I applaud us.
Sorry, I'm the one to rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, so somebody else who's really ready for his or her moment is Ranger Rick. He's a very angry little man, but kind of a badass. I mean, he has the only appropriate reaction to seeing his daughter come home after months with The Bachelor.
It was a big day because we hadn't seen Hannah for quite a while, and we were excited, obviously, to see her, spend some time with her. And then, of course, she brought Peter with her, which is new and exciting, I guess.
I just think he's a good dad.
Well, all right. Let me remind the audience, and I don't know, you guys, how long you've been watching that? I forget. We've talked about this before. Back in the day, the dads would just cry when the guy showed up with TV cameras and said, "I want to ask your daughter to marry me." Like, well, if she's into it, then I am too.
There's a lot of dads like that, yeah.
And there was an explicit ask.
But right. But
Right.
not now. Now the dads go, "I've watched this fucking show, you scumbag. Are you going to pick her or not? Are you
Right.
going to pick her or not?" And they try and pin these assholes down, but they've been coached up by, Laura and Sarah and the producers. Like, you don't need to give them a straight answer. Don't get pinned down. Tell them you really have feelings for her, and there's still the other girls out there
Yeah.
that you need to respect.
Right.
And you just give these platitudes, and you work your way through it. And Dad's
Yes.
pissed. Dad's not happy
Right.
when you leave, but you've gotten through it, and they
Yes.
got the footage they needed to put together a story.
You're 100% right. Out of breath, but 100% right. They've been kind of hitting the focus pads on this kind of, bobbing and weaving with the dads. He steps in his own shit a couple of times, but anyways, Nick.
Same token, how they the dads have changed. I'm telling you, this is a paradigm shift. I didn't see it at all tonight. He did not explicitly ask if the father would be okay with marrying me. I feel like this is a new thing. There's been hullabaloo about why do they do this? Why do they ask the dad? Now they just sit down with both parents, and there's none of that old-timey request.
If we get engaged, would you guys approve? Yeah.
Maybe there'll be one at the end or something. Maybe they'll switch it up.
So Peter sits down with Mom next, and this kind of kicks off a pattern we'll see this evening. He tells her mom that she's the first person he's told he wants to tell Hannah Ann that he's falling in love with her. Again, now this is a first in a string of really bad reactions to this news.
That she feels like she has fallen in love with me. And, that means the world to me to hear that. I know that I want to express it to her. And I haven't necessarily had that opportunity yet. And you're the first person that actually knows that I want to do that.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
She sounds very excited.
Yeah, she sounds so happy for her daughter.
That reminds me, or that sounds like what I would imagine the reaction, the guy who he hit that half-court shot at the Knicks game.
Okay.
He's like, so what do I win? And they're like, $1,000 scratch-off tickets. And he goes, huh.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
It's exactly like that.
Did you know that's a real thing that happened like 2 months ago?
I
maybe?
did hear that. Hey, I have some thoughts on this.
Yep.
Okay. So, Mom, I believe. We don't have a clip of this, but then after Peter says this, she tries to prep Peter for a conversation with Papa.
Yes.
I think Mom's a little scared of Dad. You know what I mean? He's out there, out in the woods, risking his life. He might come back and grab a few scotches at the end of each night.
Throw the glass against the wall.
I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm just saying.
Those few scotches come after 12 beers at the bars, at the bar with the boys after winding down, chopping some logs.
Well, you said it.
Slogging logs, as we call it.
All right, so let's get to the sit down with Dad. Any highlights before we get to the absolutely do not tell my daughter you're falling in love with her?
Just that I forgot which dad we were talking about when he said he's probably an alcoholic who like beats his family, because could be any one of these gentlemen.
Yeah.
I didn't meet Victoria F's father, but I'm sure we would have thought the same thing.
Her Nana seems pretty violent, but again, is it her Nana? We'll get there.
Oh, her dad is also her stepdad. I saw on the social media.
Okay. So, guys, he says to her father, I'm falling in love with your daughter, and I'd like to tell her that. He has a very... English is tough sometimes, so I'll just go with he has a very not good reaction to this. You know who I'm falling in love with? Ranger Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Bomb.
Absolutely huge bomb, because this is exactly how a father should act towards the Bachelor. I mean, this is the only appropriate way to behave in this situation.
Oh, Dylan, can I paraphrase? We don't have a clip for it.
Sure.
Okay. Dad says, don't say it unless you mean it. In other words, unless you're picking her, don't you fucking dare.
Right.
Don't you fucking dare do this.
I do not think he's going to pick her. Well, he may have no choice, because we'll get to it later. Madison's going to go by the wayside. She just has to.
You think?
Yeah.
I love being spoiler free.
Me too.
This is incredible.
Me
This is
too.
the first time.
Hey, try it, guys. Try it. Fuck reality, Steve.
It's like playoffs, baby.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Okay.
It ain't Victoria F. I know that.
So he ultimately does have the conviction required to tell Ranger Rick's daughter that he's falling in love with her. Vomit. She then, for some reason, stands in the rain for a good long while. And also, when he says this, the levees break. I mean, she says, I love you, I love you, I love you, like as many times as I just did. And then stands in the rain for an exorbitant amount of time and bids him adieu.
Just New Orleans all over again. Love is breaking.
I think this is a good time to remind the audience the 3 stages of love on this show.
Okay.
It's been much fodder over the years for us, but again, just maybe perhaps it's for the new listeners.
I love it. It's been a long process to figure it out, and we haven't probably laid it out succinctly in a long time.
Yeah.
And let me lay this out, because when he does say he's falling in love with her, she responds, I'm in love with you.
Which is,
It's pretty big.
it's a step up.
Yes.
That's the difference between Pikachu and Raichu.
So here are the 3 stages. Okay. I'm starting to fall in love with you. I'm starting is the key word here.
Okay.
I'm falling in love with you.
Okay.
Okay, so that's kind of like the midpoint, I think.
Okay.
And then it's I'm in love with you. I guess that's the big thing.
Right. And then it's Super Saiyan form is I love you.
Right.
That's what
solidifies.
That's what you need to achieve to defeat Frieza, because he's just dominating everybody.
If we got cast, or if I got cast as is it the Bachelor? It kind of goes both ways. Who says it or not? If I was like just one of the 30 guys in my like video where I introduce myself, I'd be like, I'm entertaining the thought of possibly thinking about
having my heart lean into love for you.
Yes, that part. I love that.
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about it before.
Because you make your heart outside of you. It's like a pet. It's not your conviction, it's your heart's conviction. And it's just another buffer. It's just another buffer. So let's get to Des Moines, Iowa.
Date 2.
A city that I'm sure the girls would scream about if they heard they were going. I don't want to say anything. This is not my place to say anything.
What about Des Moines?
What?
think something happens first here. I can't say anything.
Oh, you want to talk about the leg wraparounds?
Maybe.
I can't believe you're shocked by this. No, you can't say anything. That's why we were so like not knowing what you're referring to. Obviously not.
Wrong medium, Dylan. All right, so
you guys are retarded.
Kelsey and Peter meet each other. He gets a full leg wraparound, but it doesn't happen until they're stepping in the wine bin in Squash and Grapes.
Oh my god!
Full leg wraparound.
All right,
she's pushing her pussy into him.
She's pussing her pussy.
Pushing her pussy.
Holy shit! So first,
she's pushing her pushing.
We go to the Somerset Winery now.
Oh boy.
I'll just say Iowa's no place for grapes. I mean, there's no terroir in the dirt of Des Moines, right? Hey, come on.
I grew up in the Midwest. I rep the Midwest pretty hard.
Right.
I don't even think Des Moines is that bad of a place. I didn't know they did wine in Des Moines.
No, they don't.
It seemed
it's no place for grapes.
Seemed like an absurd thought.
You know, Dylan, I didn't want to beat up on this winery, but so many wineries are now in the biz of selling trash wine mixed with trash one-on-ones eager to fill up those filthy, yucky normies.
Absolutely. Especially, I mean, it's not... That's not exclusive to the Midwest. I mean, it happens all up and down the coast of California. You have to have the palate. Mm-hmm. You have to have the palate. Okay, so yes.
Just to further shit on this place, I agree with. I don't have it.
No,
I don't have the palate. What's that dirt you reference?
Terroir.
That's what I gotta start saying. But.
And it's not a specific kind of dirt.
I know,
okay.
idiot.
All right.
I didn't. But I was gonna say about this wine expert they
it's
had.
The soul that the grape pulls from the earth.
We're shitting on this place, but the wine expert, I don't know if she a sommelier.
I'll get to her in a fucking second.
Oh, you are gonna get to her.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I thought she had a really just like new way to kind of teach people.
Oh,
she
yeah.
just goes, "You fucking figure it out."
Okay.
Am I getting ahead of myself?
A little bit.
Yeah,
but you're 100% right. You're 100% right. I just want to say, they start smashing grapes and she asks him if he likes it, which I don't know. Was that as weird a question as I think it is?
Are you talking about the enjoyment of your feet?
Yeah, like
grapes?
you're squishing grapes with somebody and you go, do you like this?
Dylan, how long have you been married? Women love squishing and popping things. They get off on it.
Hey, Tom.
I don't.
Their pussies quiver.
Oh my God,
yes.
Tom, that's so vulgar.
Yes, they love
Doesn't
squishing
even
things.
answer my question.
I feel like though you write off Pat when you give him the Tom voice. That is valid. Women love squishing and popping things.
I love squishing and popping things. Everyone loves squishing and popping things.
Not me, dear.
Okay,
no,
Tom.
I don't. I don't like squishing anything.
Tom 800 Tom. So they begin wine tasting, and I don't really know where to begin here. The glassware, what's happening, right?
Breaking Bad.
I get that test tube decanters are used, but come on, let's decant the wine like we know what we're doing. And then the sommelier steps up and says, get this, some of them may have oak, some may not. Then walks away. Are we only dealing with oak and no oak? You want to give us some other tasting notes? You fucking hack.
I believe what Dylan is, you would have liked to hear if it was in a steel drum or oak.
I'm talking about, I'm not going to get into it, but there's more than oak and no oak. There's more than oak and no oak.
It's primarily
not
only
Des Moines.
two ways for wine to ferment, though. It's a steel drum or oak.
Sure, but oak and no oak are not main characteristics of all wines.
Right. Sorry.
Let's get bogged down in this. Oh my gosh, there was no way to clip this out, but listeners of this podcast will know. He goes on the most meandering fucking metaphor about wine and wine tasting, comparing it to their relationship. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
It took a half an hour.
They had a gun to his head and they said, compare your relationship to wine. We're going to fucking dub this over your shitty date. All right?
Try again. So,
fucking idiot. You don't know anything about wine.
Kelsey sits down and
What's that dirt called?
it's not dirt.
Whatever. What's it called?
Terroir.
Saint Terroir.
Okay. Kelsey sits down and tells him that she is falling in love with him, which is why I asked you.
She says she's in love with him.
I asked you on the text thread, do we want to even do bombs tonight? Because it'll be like somebody walking through the DMZ. I mean, shit's just fucking exploding all over the place tonight.
I don't like to overdo things. I run things into the ground.
Okay.
Just this one, like you said, does not deserve a bomb. It was so break glass in case of emergency, right under the wire.
Yeah.
I got to get this in. I haven't said this yet. Shit.
It feels like so much more of an obligation. You referred to it earlier, but it's just like, get it out, Kelsey. Get it out.
Call me crazy. I think she actually does like this dude.
Yeah,
I think she's
she
caught
does
up into
too.
it. There's a couple that I can say, I don't think they're really hearts into it. She's definitely into it.
And dare I say, I think Kelsey's probably the most normal.
It's crazy.
It's crazy to think.
She turned it around, but I still can't forget, like in the beginning when she kept referring to herself as like a bad bitch and like she's no basic bitch, like that. She did not say those things.
Madison's the most normal. She's just very deeply religious. There's nothing wrong with it, but you know, it is
led by a respect for her father, who is the most religious zealot. She's probably not really that much of a psycho, and I bet she'll do some freaky things with Peter if he ties the knot.
No way. I disagree with you.
No, she's the one that's going to give him the ultimatum.
I think that she's
I'm getting ahead of myself.
religious. And I do think that she's got some Freudian stuff going on with her 5-year-old dad. Let's meet the family.
Night date.
We've got a few new noses under one roof, don't we, guys?
Yes, we do.
We've got an uncomfortable...
Are you talking about her plastic surgery?
Yeah, but I think multiple people have
nice.
plastic surgery.
Nice.
I didn't even know if that is what you're referring to. That's super
Yeah,
funny.
no, a lot of plastic surgery.
A lot of fucked out noses, man.
Everybody's beautiful. We've got an uncomfortable hug from Dad. Their relationship was a little weird to me, and a much too loud inside jacket from the little brother.
So this is Kelsey. I picked up on weird relationship. This is Kelsey's stepdad.
Oh.
Yes, it is. His name's Mike.
Kelsey has not confided in her mother that she has rekindled her relationship with her father. Rekindled may not be the right word with a father-daughter
Great
relationship.
callback, Nick.
And she said, like, I wonder if I think her dad probably went off the rails because she was like, it's not exactly how, because she was talking about meeting her father kind of. To him, basically. And then we did not meet the father. We did not reference the father.
Right.
I think whatever problems that kept him away from his family may have done it again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Addiction.
Did you say age?
Age, yeah.
Not age. What problems that kept him away from his family? Addiction.
H.
H. Sounded like age.
I get that. No, but I was referring to, the track marks they've taken over the crease in the arm, so shooting into the toes now.
Or your asshole.
Okay, you do that?
And much more likely in rural Iowa, benzodiazepams.
Okay, so they have some of Kelsey's favorite food on the table.
You refer to the crab rangoons?
Got a bunch of goons out.
What's
this family doing with goons on the table?
Dylan,
Goon Squad.
I don't like to judge. Okay, especially with food.
Sure.
I eat turkey sandwiches for lunch and dinner 6 days a week.
Yep.
But I am a fan of crab rangoons.
Right.
They're widely known. I've lived in 3 states in my life. I've lived in Massachusetts, Nevada, and California.
They're big on the East Coast. People love goons on the East Coast.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, people love a goon.
Peter. When he sees those crab rangoons.
Oh my God.
You would have thought they put like octopus or something in front of them.
Very
you ever been to
interesting reference.
Pickup Sticks, Pete? You ain't never seen a goon before? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You ever order food from a Chinese restaurant, get takeout?
Can I
Scroll down the goddamn menu.
Can I weigh in on goons really quickly?
Please.
I'm not a fan of crab with a C. I'm not a fan of crab with a K. Most goons are made out of cream cheese and K. So I'm okay with a cream cheese goon because it's just cream cheese and that sweet sauce. But I mean, it's whitefish pressed together and then thrown into cream cheese. I don't like crab.
You're talking about imitation crab meat, mainly made out of pollock caught in Alaska.
If you don't know that know it now. California rolls, that's not crab, that's whitefish. And also, crab is just gross. I've had 2 really yucky experiences. Walk into a toad eye when I was like 12 years old. It was like 78 degrees
Your
inside.
mom took you there a lot.
No, just once. And I didn't struggle with my weight until I was probably about 18 or 19, if that's what you're implying. But it was so hot in there, and it was an all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. There was one man who was balding, but he had a ponytail, and he was probably about 30 to 35 pounds overweight. He had a plate of crab legs in front of him. Yeah, ever since that day, I have been disgusted by crab. Also, my friend Connor just goes to town on him, and he shot juice in my face one day. We were sitting. I'm horrified by the animal. Horrified by it. Okay, yeah.
You must hate Bachelor in Paradise. But
no, I think they have a right to live and walk sideways. Just eating them is disgusting.
Good guy. That was incredible.
I've heard that story 3 times. It gets better with every telling.
Tell the one about the DMV.
Oh.
Don't.
So we've got to get to Mom and Peter sitting down. Now, Mom says that she reads people well. She breaks down his body language, which was a lie, and she bought it hook, line, and sinker. So obviously you're not very good at reading people. She says that her daughter is very clear when it comes to her expression. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to play the clip of her. Were you disappointed in that one?
I give myself 37 knots. I don't know.
I thought it was great.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, let's recall how she felt about what was the one from Alabama's name that I hated it so much. Sydney.
Yes.
When she's
so much fucking Alabama. It took me a while. Yes,
hey,
Sydney. Sydney was fine.
Again, stop it. Okay, so the mom turns on the threatening pretty good. She kind of ratchets that up at the end and then sits down to have a chat with her daughter.
Okay, this is weird because Mom asks Kelsey a direct question.
Yeah.
She says, "What do you love about this idiot?" I'm mad in the idiot thing, I think. And then Kelsey answers by saying, "Well, Mom, I've never cried this much."
Yeah.
That's how you know?
Right.
That's what you love about him?
Yeah.
She did preface it with I cry a lot, but not this much.
Well, she does tell her mom that she's in love with him, or that she's falling in love with him, or that her heart is filled with love for him, whatever she says. It once again is not a thing a parent wants to hear. Pat?
I'm going to tell him that he has to sign an NDA, and we can discuss the possibility of me falling in love with him.
Way more vulnerable. Like, I cry a lot, but I've cried so much more through this experience. And like, you know me, I didn't expect to have the feelings that I do coming into this.
No, and
it's scary.
Yep.
And I did tell him I loved him today.
You did. It's scary as your mom. I don't want your sweetheart broken.
It's really sad because as you're a parent and you're seeing your child do something so dumb, like you were already concerned with her going on the show, but now she's professing her love, which is not genuine, for someone who's has a 25% chance, though we know it's likely much higher, of breaking her heart. And you just want to hug your child and say, I don't want you making these mistakes, especially in front of an American audience like this. It's sad.
It is sad that like the mother's so concerned, but like, I mean, come on, we don't like Peter. We think he's kind of a pussy.
Yeah.
He's a pilot. He seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
He's not doing any of this maliciously. It all goes back to him being a pussy. He's nothing. The point is, he's nothing compared to
Nick
this
Vile.
woman. No, more specifically, this woman's Oxycontin addicted ex-husband.
Oh,
Like,
got it.
I mean, you should be so lucky for
Right.
Kelsey, who
Yeah.
will definitely be swept off to Abu Dhabi on
Sure.
trips
Right.
if she does not end up with this man.
Were you good at reading people before the marriage, or did you learn to read people after your marriage?
I feel like she may actually be people illiterate, or at best, people. What do you call that when your eyes fuck up the letters?
Dyslexic.
People dyslexic.
Okay, so weird thing with this family, and I completely forgot that he was a stepdad, so that's why. But no, Pete and Dad sit down at all.
No, stepdad sits in the other room and stares at a wall.
Sure.
Peter and the stepdad actually did talk, and Peter was like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?"
Right.
I run this down.
What? What?
I'm your meal ticket, pops.
Spits in his face. So she tells him that she loves him outside, to which he replies, "Thank you, hand kiss. My heart is falling."
That's what he says.
Yishka. I mean, writing was on the walls. Victoria F could have said, "Yeah, I've broken up 3 marriages," and he would have been like, "Kelsey, I'll see you at the Women Tell All, or wherever the fuck I see you next." Okay, let's get to yes.
So you say my thoughts. I'm going to say my thoughts on that specific thought. Like, I don't think he was like, "Oh, Victoria F is better than you."
I think
Possibly a hot take.
Well, he's definitely.
Are we there yet? Are we talking?
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
not yet. Let's get there. Let's get to Auburn first. Not gonna say anything.
Day date Auburn. Here we go. We got a short jump, no leg wrap around. This is Madison.
Supremely confident individual.
Madison is.
That's what this language is, right? That's the sentence that this no leg wraparound spells.
Well, she doesn't
out.
want to be seen on TV.
Yeah,
All right.
it's fear of a zealoted father.
Let me throw this out there.
Okay.
Virgins are down to get cuckoo with like blowjobs and stuff.
Soaking.
What's that? Oh, that's docking.
Docking.
No, docking is-
We've been through this.
I apologize.
Soaking inside birth canal. Docking inside uncircumcised foreskin. Mm-hmm. Don't get it wrong again.
No motion inside the birth canal is
Yeah.
what makes soaking.
Right.
Catholics don't really subscribe to it. More of a Mormon thing.
Well, back to this. Sorry. Madison is probably like fun with everything but allowing the penis in her near her vagina. And also on TV, she did not do the full leg wraparound because the parents are watching, and she will definitely not be fucking this guy on TV and
I
fantasy
just think it's because
suites.
she's not desperate at all. But you may be right. That may be a hot take, sizzling hot take. So evidently, yeah.
She doesn't seem desperate on the show. I've loved her. She's my favorite. In a vacuum, I'd be like, you're one of my favorite contestants ever. I love basketball.
Mm-hmm.
That's a plus. But that comment thing, it's again, these girls have done things like, I'm just like,
What comment thing?
she commented on her own picture, which she thought was a Finsta. Maddie, you are so genuine and real.
Oh, right.
Screams of desperation and insecurity,
I
which
forgot
I
about
just
that.
did not think you had. Didn't she have people behind her? I think it's probably a team. I think these leaders who went far in the competition end up getting people like management teams that are commenting, and that's who fucked up, and you can never come out with that.
Right.
That's what I pray for her, because she seems pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, intern, thank God that client is not Kevin Hart, because that would be really bad.
Very embarrassing.
The unfortunate thing, it wasn't probably an intern. It's some company that's like pretends to be like multiple people, but it's 3 guys, and one of them fucked up.
Right.
really bad.
It's like a Madoff thing, but with digital influence marketing. Okay, so in Auburn, there's a crazy thing that happens where when you pass people, you yell "War Eagles."
War Eagle.
Why
Yeah.
do you do that?
That's just that's their roll tide.
Okay.
That's their shitty roll tide.
It's Roll Tide.
That's going to get me probably death threats.
Okay. So they get to the gym, and it's evident that they called in a favor from that drunk Charles Barkley. He shows up on the big screen and says something like, "Don't mess up."
Frank Caliendo over here.
Yeah.
You killed it.
Thank you. Boom. Next up, we've got another celebrity, and that's Bruce Pearl. Now, Madison seems starstruck as was I. Nick, can you give us just a little background on old Bruce? He's evidently a slime ball with a litany of scandals, which is a direct quote from Nick Davis that he said to me off mic, of course, not 15 minutes before we started this podcast.
You say that Madison was starstruck by Bruce. I think what you could have been possibly sensing is fear because of how creepy Bruce is.
Are you saying she wants to fuck Bruce?
Or has possibly been touched inappropriately.
Got it.
Oh, wow.
By Bruce.
Which is kind of a theme amongst his accusers, correct?
I think this is one of the least damning evidence of Bruce Pearl's greasy slimeballism, but there is a video that went somewhat viral of him like shaking Erin Andrews inappropriately.
Yes.
I've heard people, we'll post the video on our social medias loosely, because it's loosely related to The Bachelor, but also sports, which is always fun for this guy, pointing to myself, Ron Medium.
Or the 6-year-old in the studio.
Yeah.
Now 6.5, he won't shut the fuck up about it.
Shut up! Bruce Pearl, slime. Oh. We'll put the video up. You can watch it for yourself. People have referenced like, oh, look at her cowering. Erin Andrews, this is. She looks like she's afraid. I think what's really happening, it's very loud in there after a win, and she's huddling to hear him. I honestly don't. I think he's a piece of shit. Don't think this is video as nefarious as people made it out to be.
It's no Namath Susie Cole.
Yeah.
Right.
We will also post that on our social media because it is loosely related to The Bachelor. And I mean very loosely, but I was going to say, I was going to finish about Bruce Pearl. I'm not going to get into the specifics of his litany of
scandals.
It's all whispers. Oh, I was going to say, more damning than this video is just the word of mouth that you hear that he is just... He's a slime ball is the best way to describe it. Bruce Pearl is the quintessential car salesman, college basketball coach. He goes around the country wooing underprivileged youths and their families so he can be mayor for a short period of time of whatever city is about to run him out of town.
Yeah. Currently?
Auburn, Alabama.
All right, so...
And he likes to wear a flashy suit every now and then.
Damn.
Madison's father is the assistant coach of this team. Now, Bruce Pearl says that he was not hired because he's a good basketball coach. He was hired because he's a great father, which is, just personally to me, I think it's a terrible hiring strategy.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Another way to say I'm greasing palms, though.
Yes.
Yeah, you just
totally.
can't take it literally. He's like, hey, this coach, he gave me all his recruits because I gave them cars. So now I'm going to hire him because the next coach that also has high school, we're giving them cars too.
Got it.
But again, only those shitty cars, not the Cadillacs. What were we giving them? You referenced them earlier in the season.
Buicks?
No, you said it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Jalopniks?
Little...
Lemons?
What's cheap? Little Toyota Corolla or something?
Yeah,
you said?
little...
You don't remember?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah, we just joked about how this father's definitely greasing palms. I mean, it was early in the season, but
no, I don't remember at all.
Okay, yeah, you said
like I said,
and I was confused because I didn't know what you were talking about, and you're like, well, Reggie Bush got a Cadillac.
Got it. Yeah, exactly. Fuck, I do wish I remembered the make and model. So, Maddie can ball.
Baby birds, chime in.
Maddie can fucking ball, but who cares, right? Let's get to the family.
Well, hold on.
Okay, you want to talk about the coordination?
The man has no basketball moves. He cannot dribble.
I thought he did good with the double dribble.
Oh, he did do good with that.
The high-low is not...
High-low is a tough thing to pull
easy.
off, and then the crossover, I think, was just meant to embarrass him.
Mm-hmm.
Crossover easier than high-low.
Really?
There's this weird rhythm thing.
Yeah, your brain gets confused.
Especially, I mean, I bet Peter can dribble with his right hand. He's fucking up with his left hand.
Yeah.
Kept losing the ball. That high-low is fucking tough.
I would have told her, hey, I don't want to do this. Well, yeah, I guess you can't tell her that. You got to tell the producers who play on this date, hey, let's get the fuck out of here and go to a bar and drink, or go to a beach and drink some champagne or something.
He's not unconfident in his athletic ability. He said he grew up playing football.
Yeah.
I don't know. He likes it.
I'll tell you what, he's draining threes tonight, whereas in the post-credit scene, where after Kobe Bryant's death, he was having a tough time. I think it was probably the chain net.
I just thought about this today. I cannot believe Kobe Bryant is dead.
It's
I'm gonna
unbelievable.
cry.
It's
Can we
fucking.
move on?
It's so crazy. Yeah, I just will say the last time I played ball, a 13-year-old threw the ball in my face and hit me. It was, it's kind of like a street ball trick where you like bounce it off somebody's forehead. But he was like a really mean little kid, and I was like 17 years old. I started crying because it like hurt, but it's like when you get hit there.
Of course.
And then the kid's sister was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then he apologized, but I'm going to stop talking about this now because I'm rambling. I can't find the transition to the next part of the episode.
Night date!
Let's meet the family, including, as aforementioned, the 5-year-old man that is her father. Now, they kick off every meal with a special plate, affirmations, prayer, and iced tea and wine glasses. Now, I think that, you think you know me. But the most horrifying thing about this entire dinner was the prayer. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. They're much happier than I am.
I have a problem with this.
The iced tea and the wine glasses was insane, but
That was a little wacky.
Okay.
Maybe I just came from a different upbringing.
Yeah.
But I had a problem with hey, let's pick a person at the table and tell them everything we love about them. I don't think this is good for humanity.
Right.
Okay. There's two things that can be reaped out of this. One is someone feels confident and they bring positive energy out to the world because they feel loved.
Yeah.
The other thing this produces is a fucking SOB.
Yep.
That thinks their shit don't stink, that becomes a complete narcissist in the world. These are the motherfuckers that drive in front of you and take a parking spot that you've been waiting for.
Yep.
Think, oh, that's my parking space. I don't know how, I don't like it. I don't think you should be telling someone for 5 minutes what you love about them.
Though I think this is a weird practice, I will say the combat to that is the fact that they do it with everyone. So the idea is that everyone is special. So you're not. I think you could construe it as you're not necessarily more important than anybody else. But Dylan, you were gonna say, oh, you think you know me? You hated the prayer. It's funny you say that because specifically about Madison's father, I do not see a man who is pious and devout. I see a man who is stricken by fear by the thought of his own mortality, and he's grasping for straws at something that will give him immortality.
He's buying the other side of Pascal's wager. Mm-hmm. He's buying the other side of Pascal's wager.
No, the obvious side of Pascal's wager, kind of.
Yeah.
The logical conclusion to it.
Right. Even though the premise isn't logical.
Not true.
It's actually fascinating you say that because I had a riveting conversation this weekend in New Orleans, and Pascal's wager can be applied to more secular things. We'll talk about it off mic, but it's really, really fascinating.
Obviously. It's a logic game. I mean, it's
really, really beautiful.
It's
when
not
the
a
other
religious
applications.
It's not a religious thing by nature.
Absolutely is by nature. But anyways, so her and her mother talk about her being a virgin some more, and
her precious punani for marriage, please.
Alrighty, Pat's had a couple white gloves.
That father could not sound more creepy. Do not call your daughter pure. Am I ahead of myself?
Stop saying how pure your daughter is. It's terrifying with that haircut.
Accomplishes nothing. It will lead her to either lash out and be a complete whore.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I'm saying.
Okay, I know what you're saying. You just said it.
Or live up to your unreasonable expectation and cut yourself to feel something.
Now, his haircut and cherub cheeks are quite funny to me, but he is a good dad. I mean, he's a little overbearing, but I think he's a good dad. He tells Madison that... Peter tells Madison that he's falling madly in love with her. And surely he's...
No pun intended, madly.
He's surely going to fuck all of this up by having sex with Victoria P. Victoria F., excuse me. That's what's going to happen, right?
I told you she's the Tyler Chill. He ain't fucking her.
So Peter tells Dad he's fallen in love with her, what you just said. Dad's basically he's the second dad that says, hey, tell me what's going to happen with my daughter.
Yes.
It's a TV show. I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but what's going to happen? And Peter obviously can't answer this question.
Yeah, no, he calls him out. Peter thinks that he's got him cornered. He's like, what about this trump card? If it was today, I would pick... No. You got a couple more weeks left in this competition. You're going to have sex with many people. So what about in a couple weeks? Are you picking my daughter? You're not going to believe this, but I slammed my head in a glass. That's what happened. All right, let's get to Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Full leg wraparound.
Yep. She just lets go of the dog.
Cue the Pharrell.
Marvelously socialized animal. I'll say little tuggy on the leash, but all around a very good lab.
Dylan's been going through some lessons with his dog right now, I know.
My Bernie, yeah.
And I love knowing the influence of his real life. That's what seeped into his commentary on this episode, but also very illuminating because it's his first-hand or second-hand knowledge.
Yeah, but it is socializing the animal and rearing the animal. Yeah. No, they're not two different things. I
will say the kook that Dylan is going to says you can't say no to your dog. It doesn't understand no.
No, you have to go, oh. So when you walk around the neighborhood and Bernie gets a little tuggy, you got to go, oh. I won't do it in front of people.
Dogs, since the beginning of time, have been bred to understand humans.
Just let me try something.
And this woman says they don't understand no.
Her name's Lisette.
We can move on.
Her name's Lisette.
It sounds like mistake.
Okay, so they take old-timey photos.
I have some thoughts about this. See, I'm older than you guys.
What?
But
thoughts on what?
The old-timey photo shoot.
Okay.
I don't know if Sears is still open.
They got like 4 locations.
Probably. But this was... they used to name towns after this, like Sears Town. I'm not joking about this.
Oh, wow.
From 0 to 12, every photo that was ever taken of me as a child was taken at Sears. And it was one of these fucking things where they would literally like shades pull down a backdrop.
Yep.
And then you had some guy that looks like he rapes children.
Yep.
Behind the camera, charging my mom like $30 or something. This was a big splurge.
Now, did he rape you or did he just look like he would rape you?
He looked like a rapist.
Okay.
And then we get the photos, and then these would be what the only indication that you grew up. This was the only. These were the only photos of you.
Right.
We're taken at Sears. This was reminiscent of that.
Well, this was a little bit more, do I want to say romantic era? No. What's Little Women? What's Little Women?
The romantic period.
What do you always say? Antebellum? No,
it's not antebellum. That's more of the South. But the kind of dress that makes me immediately turn off when I'm watching a movie. I just don't want to watch any period piece from that time. Ever.
I think of like a Little Bo Peep's dress.
Sure, yeah. I just can't put my finger on the word.
You see
the
bonnet,
yes,
bonnet, the circle, the hoop dress, dress.
Of course.
But I also can.
No,
Dylan is digging deep into the archives. I will say, it sounds like this old-timey photo place took Patrick down memory lane, which was, of course, the name of this place, Memory Lane Old-Timey Photos.
Oh, wow.
Which I happen to have a Yelp review.
Whoa.
Of.
Wow, quite a little bit of course correction here from Nick.
There are no ratings lower for Memory Lane old-timey photos than a 4-star rating.
Oh, wow.
Insanity.
How many reviews?
Ratings? Great question, Pat. 7.
Oh.
Well, so.
7 for 7.
All right.
Gilby writes, I haven't done she's done, which one is her? 1,705 reviews.
Holy smokes.
She is not taking this 4-star review lightly, but I will say she gives Modern Times old-timey photos 4 stars. I haven't done old-timey pictures since high school. All of the employees were dressed in costumes. They were nice. There were tons of books with pictures of way too many choices. I will say most Yelp reviewers write like Courtney Skipman from Below Deck and are way too verbose and try to use big words. This woman is the Ernest Hemingway of Yelp. There were tons of books with pictures of too many choices. It was a challenge to decide what to wear. You could be a bimbo with a gun, a gangster, a drunk, a classy dame, or a beach bunny. There were even costumes small enough that you could give birth right before entering the store and have something that would fit your newborn.
Oh.
Hubby and I were in a shooting mood, so we both had guns. Shooting, that could be used two ways.
Sorry,
Hilarious.
did she say she was in a shooting mood?
Yes. And I thought she meant photographs until she hit me with the guns. Hilarious, Gail.
Whoa.
The person who took our pictures did a nice job of telling us what to do and how to pose. It was fun. I would suggest bringing a plastic envelope from the Spectator store. She didn't capitalize that. Is that a plug? Or your own frame with you and not paying more than you need for a frame. Great tip, Gail. The Hotel Boardwalk coupon books have $3 off coupons for additional prints.
Hey, are you done?
I am.
What a loser.
You say the shooting comment was hilarious. I'd say it's concerning. You have any Yelp reviews on The Shack, Nick?
In fact, I do, Dylan.
No.
I know.
Okay, got it. All right, so Victoria takes him to her favorite place known as The Shack, where they once again stand on a platform and know all the words to a country song. Hunter Hayes takes the stage. Before we move on, I know we just did a segment where Nick reads shit, but it's time for Nick's Fire Tweets. Nick, please God hurry.
I didn't know those were going to be so back-to-back. Yeah, Nick's Fire Tweets. This one's really topical. Lately, I've just been pulling out tweets that have been nothing to do with the podcast.
Right.
Hunter Hayes.
Mainly about Subway you've been talking about.
That has been a interesting theme, which is, of course, led to the pre-production of my future screenplay, Subdog Millionaire, which I will, of course, write about all the things I've learned through my travails at Subway. But anyways, my fire tweet.
170-page first draft. It's too long.
It's the Irishman of Subway movies.
Yeah, I'm not saying 115. I'm just like bring it down to like 140. I mean, there's plenty of stuff there.
And this tweet comes from December 3rd, 2013.
Wow.
So my buddy, I grew up in the Midwest, as many people know. So a lot of people would live tweet the Country Music Television Awards.
They were there?
No, they just watched it.
Just watching.
I would love, though that was hilarious delivery by you, if you did not chew through the rest of Nick's Fire Tweets. That's just a specific request I have. Do what you will with it. Again, I say great delivery on just watching.
I won't chip anymore.
My buddy Michael Dabalski at my_Skeet. We call him Skeet.
Nice. Nice.
He tweeted, also on December 3rd, 2013, "Is Hunter Hayes gay? My gaydar is going off." Now, I know this is not Michael Dabalski's fire tweet, but that tweet was very important to set up my fire tweet. So he tweeted that, and I replied to it at my_Skeet. Quote, "I don't want easy, I want dick." End quote. And that concludes Nick's Fire Tweets.
Why are you laughing like that?
Because that was fire. It's fire. It's fire.
Okay, so Hunter Hayes takes the stage, and let me tell you something. Catchy tune. I mean, I was hammering away at 1.7, and I was like, let me slow this down and see what this jam is all about. I got to say, I like it. Now, he's about to leave when a woman named Marissa yells his name. Now, this is a very bizarre human being because she volunteers to be the Beware character who delivers a warning to our hero, but did not sign the release. What are you doing? Are you going to be on television or not? Your picture's everywhere.
You can Google Marissa today.
Yeah.
And she comes up, her face side by side with Victoria. That's it. You don't add anything.
Oh my gosh. Also, it looks like Weber was shopping at Guess on Rodeo at one point. Doesn't really matter. Guess
In 2012.
Guess is the target of Rodeo.
Looks like he admitted to such.
Yeah.
He explicitly said, "No, not the one that I bought at Guess." Well, that part was implied.
Again, I'll say it's not that impressive. Let's get to the warning she administers, which was in the beginning very, very vague.
Can I say some advice?
Yeah.
Just be careful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thankfully.
She decided to expound on that.
Yeah, that was not all she was going to say.
I actually used to be friends with her, and things happened probably a couple months ago, and we're just not friends anymore. I've tried to mend the relationship, and just because we have mutual friends. I'm best friends with one of her friends that was here today, but I just feel like I want to say this to you because, again, I know who you are as a good person, and I don't think that you deserve that. There's been many relationships broken up because of her, and I don't think it's a good relationship for you to be in.
Dropping a dime.
The message is essentially she's a homewrecker. Right. Now, there have been murmurs on the interwebs that looks like Vic F goes after the ringed man.
Married men.
Yes, which is
I thought you meant Frodo.
Oh.
revolting characteristic.
Of a female to do that.
Yes.
Of a person.
Yes, of a person, because men do it too. It's an absolutely awful pattern to have. And let's get to the night date.
Night date!
Pat said Marissa dropped a dime, which is interesting because that is...
Isn't it shoving the first digit of your finger into somebody's asshole?
That's a third usage of it. One usage is giving someone a tip, basically ratting someone out. But a second usage is knocking Victoria F out of the game.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. I thought you were going to
Even though she stayed, but she's eventually getting knocked out because of this whole shenanigans.
I thought you were going to
Dropping it
say, quite literally dropping a piece of metal that's worth 10 cents.
That's
the
a
fourth
use of it.
All right, so we get a little round robin of the family.
Or a pass in the NBA, a really dope pass.
Yeah, we get a little round robin of the family. Here's what I was thinking, honestly. I know I'm donning a tinfoil cap here.
I love doing that.
I think these producers got the wrong house. And I think that these people have seen the show. They wanted to be on TV and are fantastic improvisers. We don't really get an answer here because they come out in the shadows. All we really see is the back of their heads. So I'm not convinced.
I like that take, Dylan.
I'm not convinced this is her family.
I would say, though, that one of them, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but after Peter and her have it out, one of them, these strange people that just live in a random house, comes out and hugs Vic F.
Well, they're the neighbors.
Right.
So Vic F's like, where's my family? But she'll also take the hug.
This is a great point. She's in a distraught mood because she's a bitch. So she's like, yeah, I'll hug you, I guess, if you guys are all giving hugs.
Yeah. And I will say before we move on to their confrontation, do you guys see the post-credit scene?
I didn't.
This family is horrible to the grandma.
Is that right?
No.
Horribly mean to the grandma.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
I hate people who disrespect generations.
Yeah.
Whatever they've done, they brought you're at this point. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, but Nick, you haven't experienced this. When their brain starts rotting away, they say very inappropriate things.
Yeah.
They start pooping all over the place.
Sopranos.
I don't care that you survived Pearl Harbor. You can't call them nips anymore.
No, I was referring to family members calling other family members stuff.
Got it. So,
they say crazy stuff.
Pete gets out of the car, and he is a dour bitch.
He's got flowers, though.
He is a dour bitch. He pulls her aside all mopey, and then a ball of stupid ensues between them.
You know how on our first date at that concert, you had an ex there.
Mm-hmm.
Today I had an ex there too.
His name was Hunter Hayes. Take that, bitch.
Oh.
Her name is Marissa. We just kind of chatted for a little bit, and then she just brought some stuff up to my attention that she thought that I should know.
About what?
She told me that you've cause a lot of other relationships to end. I don't know what she's referring to, but those were her words. And like for me, that was like the biggest bomb.
For her to say that's very disappointing. I haven't broken up any relationships. So what relationship did she say that I break up in town?
She didn't give me details, but these are her words. These are her words.
I have some thoughts on this.
Yes.
Okay. Throughout the season, we've seen this several times where Peter gets information from a girl or a group of girls about an individual girl. And without vetting it or getting enough information to actually fully put together a case of the allegations levied at the person, he hits them full frontal.
Square in the jaw.
And of course, a person, especially with cameras around, is going to be put in a defensive posture. Peter is an idiot. I know he flies a plane. I like to think people that flying around planes are smart. But this is not the case here. This moron has not learned from his mistakes in the past. He's tripped over himself several times on this season with doing this type of shit.
Yep.
And this is an example. I can't stand Victoria F. And maybe absolutely everything that was told to him by Marissa, which was very little information, is true. However, you can't do this to a girl. It's absolutely unfair. Shame on you, Peter. You don't do this. I think you're a moron.
Yeah, I agree that he just kind of takes hearsay and just vomits it up in people's faces. And, it's producer intervention, but
he's done it a lot this season. I've agreed with you every other time because there was vetting he could have done. He could have talked to the other girls first and shit, but he always just went to confrontation first. In this instance, I think he's kind of over Victoria F already a little bit. I think just her being there is producer intervention. And B, kind of forgot my B.
Well, B is he'd have to walk up and down the boardwalk of VBVA.
Jew fucker? Did she ruin your house?
Right, exactly. It's a little tougher to vet.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was my B.
Of course it was. But I forgot what I was going to say.
Although if he walked up and down and started asking people, they'd be like, yeah, I fucked her.
Yeah. Oh, I disagree with you. I think that he absolutely wants her to stick around.
100%.
He wants to have sex with her.
Because the sex would be great.
Yeah.
And because the crazy ups and downs, they're good for sex. But definitely you don't want to have children with this lady.
Great.
This is Tyler's show without the personality. He's not banging her.
If you don't sleep with this girl, you're going to be in your 60s creeping her out on socials going, what is she up to?
This is a little close to home, this example, I think. So these two people just love drama. Both of them are just addicted to this kind of bullshit. They think that this is like a prerequisite for a successful relationship. It's fucking bizarre. He asks her if any of this is true, to which she responds, well, I guess it doesn't matter now, does it? Huh? She completely dodges answering this question. They get into an adorable little fight, and then he tells her that she doesn't want to fight for this. Oh, man. Oh, man. She storms off, and this is when he kind of goes into cult leader mode and starts Stockholm syndroming her. He's just like, he does this thing where he tries to and kind of successfully takes the higher ground, not morally, but he kind of wins the argument by saying, you just keep walking away from this. I'm here fighting for this, and you're not here fighting. It's this very base level manipulation that she's kind of getting duped into.
I think the big question here is, Peter, what were you trying to get out of this? Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just drama with no end desire. Yeah, exactly.
She's either going to own it or deny it.
Right.
Or get upset and just walk away, which is what she did. But why bring the flowers, Peter? If you're going to levy this against her, you already know that she doesn't deal with this type of drama. I don't know what the fuck this guy was thinking. He's an idiot.
Can we? I mean, we already know we're like opposed. I don't think he's gonna fuck her. I think he wants her gone. You guys think he wants to keep her around until he fucks her. I'm gonna like get two burners going, give double hot takes. He wants her gone. He's sick of her. Doesn't like her. She is trying to play this role where she acts like a complete crazy bitch, but then also tells him that she loves him, wants to be with him. So he has no choice but to not break her heart because she seemed like she was all in, but obviously insufferable. So she gets broken. She goes home in that SUV crying. She's Bachelorette. That's how she sees it in her mind. But unfortunately, she is not able to... Any question he asks, she says something that does not make sense. Why are you staying here? He's
Right.
like, because I like you.
Yes.
Well, then why are you staying here? I don't know. She's dumb. That's
Yes.
my hot take. That's my hot take.
And
She wants to be gone.
I'm gonna cool your hot take just a little bit. You know, if A is true, then what is B? If she is stupid, then how is she Machiavellian like thinking 5 steps ahead? I just think you're giving her a little bit too much credit.
But that's the thing. She's the underpants gnomes from South Park.
Oh,
got it.
It was a 3-part plan.
Yes.
Plan A, steal underpants. Plan B, question mark. Plan C, profit.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
what Victoria F is doing.
So, I love when she's crying her eyes out. He just hugs her.
He says, you deserve to be loved.
He says, "You deserve to be loved. Don't push that away." What a line, Pete.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of feeling like you're in a movie, let's get to the next day.
Next day.
Vic F stops by the hotel room to hear him say that she doesn't want him to love her the way that he wants to. He also says that they have poor communication skills. Where'd you get that? Where the fuck did you get that? But when speaking about feeling like you're in a movie, she does a move that makes him really, really happy. You get a picture from the day before from
Modern Times old-timey photos.
with a little message penned on the back, wallet sized. You might as well be in a Nick Sparks movie. And I think that I'm not going to say this is what saved her. I think that her fake breasts and petite frame and thoughts of that frame naked and inserting yourself in that, I think that's what probably saved her, because I think that that's what he wants to do.
She didn't have a message in a bottle. She had a genie in a bottle who granted him her wish to stay.
Can I also say something? I was in New Orleans over the weekend. That song came on. The place erupted.
Christina Aguilera?
And for good reason. That song is fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic.
I mean, it was written by
disagree
these like what was this? You disagree?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to disagree.
There's two. She had a group of writers who were using early algorithms to understand pop music,
Yep.
plus her undeniable voice. Christina is a talent.
Sings like an angel.
That song is incredible. I agree with Dylan.
And, I've talked about the box a couple times on this show, but that's a music video that me and the kids in the neighborhood phoned in a few times. Did it come up? Maybe. Was it us? Maybe not.
I may have jerked off to Dirty
All right, let's move on.
more than any other video.
Let's get to the rose ceremony.
Sorry.
Rose ceremony.
Madison says she's nervous because she doesn't know what's going to happen next. What do you mean? He's going to pressure you to have sex, and when you refuse, he's going to tell you to leave the competition.
Hilarious, but I don't think that's what happened.
All right, let's get to a roll call. Pat, who is staying?
Hannah Ann, Madison, Vic F. Going home as Kelsey. Like we didn't see this coming.
We knew it the entire time. I feel bad for Kelsey, but I don't think that there's any other outcome other than her landing in Mexico, the island of Mexico, for Bachelor in Paradise, but I hope that she just moves on from this. Although I don't see any other money-making, endeavor, at least not one that can make you this much money. I mean, she's a model, former beauty pageant. You got to keep this juice as sweet as you can for as long as you can.
I bet her addict father's trying to convince her to sell her body.
Okay. So that's it for us. We're going to be back next week to break down the Fantasy Suite episode of ABC's The Bachelor. Until then, join us on Facebook. Search Another Bachelor Podcast. If you'd like to hop on over to Patreon, we will be putting Bachelor content up there very, very soon. And if you're watching Below Deck, we are covering Below Deck Sailing Yacht there. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews, guys. Patrick, he's kicking 10 random people out of this Facebook group if we do not crest 1,000 ratings. That's hitting 5 stars and walking away. We love you guys so much for listening to the show the entire season, and also the reviews have been unbelievable, guys. Keep it up. We will see you guys next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.